In this video, we're going to talk about how to build rapport. Now, I want you to think back and remember when the last time you met somebody who you had a connection with and where you guys just clicked, right? And if you think back, this was somebody who was so much like you that you practically knew what they were thinking, right? How comfortable did you feel with that person? Well, that was rapport. When you meet somebody and for whatever reason you guys feel a connection, you guys see eye to eye, you guys are at each other's level, that's the feeling of rapport. And so what I want to talk about here in this video is how to build rapport with prospects over the phone so that you can communicate effectively, build that trust, that credibility and authority, and be able to build that connection with your prospect. So let's go right ahead and jump in here. So before we talk about how we can satisfy our prospects' needs, we have to get them prepared to listen to us and answer our questions. And we do this by getting them to trust us and developing that connection, right? If you think about that last time that you met a friend or you met somebody that you had just a deep connection with, and you had that warmth in the body. And that's really what rapport is, where you guys are at the same wavelength, right? And you feel good, they feel good, and the guards are dropped because they feel like they know, like, and trust you. And a lot of times people get into rapport without consciously being aware because this is all done unconsciously. However, for us, what we want to do is make this a conscious effort where we're asking the right questions. We are using our voice tonality. We're doing a lot of different things to get us to be in rapport with that prospect so their guards are dropped, and then we can ask them the right questions to be able to properly diagnose and then prescribe them the right type of services, right? And so our goal is to get rapport as soon as possible and maintain that through the call. And this is done at the very beginning of the call, where we have that small talk for, about 2 to 5 minutes, where we're asking them a little bit about their day. We're asking them about their location, asking them different questions that get them to drop their guard and be open to answering our questions, okay? And one of the ways that we can maintain rapport is by using softening statements so that we can ease right into it. And so some of these are, I'm curious as to, I'm wondering about, hey, John, let me ask you about X, Y, and Z. Notice how we're not just straight away looking to ask the question. For example, if we're asking a question about what are they currently doing for marketing, right? We're not just going to ask them, hey, what are you doing for marketing? We can use softening statements to ease our way into the question. Hey, John, I'm curious, what are you guys currently doing for your marketing? Right? This allows us to ease into the question without any type of resistance because it sounds like we're just having a normal conversation, and this is not like an interview, right? Where we're just drilling them with questions. And another thing that we can do is match their tone of voice. So for example, if they're talking very slow, if they're talking very fast, you want to be at the same level as them, right? Because you may be speaking with somebody who, for example, is part of the southern part of the United States, and they talk a lot more slow. They're very chill, they're very lax, right? And so if you're talking to them super fast and they're talking super slow, then that connection there is not going to be had because you guys are at a different wavelength, right? You're talking super fast, they're talking super slow. So what you can do is match them. And so if they're talking super slow, match that, get at their level, slow down, and understand that when you can talk to them at their particular speed, at their rate, they're going to unconsciously notice that, and then you're going to have that rapport being increased. Because remember, rapport is where you have some kind of connection or feeling with somebody, and if you are talking very fast and they're talking very slow, that rapport isn't going to be there, and so their guard is going to be up. That's why it's important to really listen to how they're communicating and at the rate and at the speed. And another thing to keep in mind here, and this is very, very powerful, okay? You can use this in your communication with your prospects through any type of marketing channel, and also obviously with communicating with them via the phone, because everybody wants to feel significant, important, and understood. That's why it's very important for you to do what you can to make them feel good about themselves and to acknowledge what they're saying. And when they're talking, be very attentive. Use different phrases such as, I understand. I see your point. And being able to let them know that you understand them, right? Because this is one of the biggest things that we struggle with as individuals. We're too worried about ourselves, right? And oftentimes we feel like nobody understands us. And so when you can sit there and listen to somebody really talk about their problems, their pain points, right? Things they're struggling with, that's going to make them feel understood and immediately build that rapport. Very, very powerful. Now, one of the best ways that I've found to actually get into rapport is to first generate that feeling of warmth within myself, and then imagine that warm feeling being transferred to the prospect. So if I'm on a call, right before the call, I imagine myself being in a rapport with them. I create this warm feeling inside my body, and then I imagine them also feeling the same sensation. And this is very, very powerful here, because if you automatically feel a connection, that person is going to feel it. Just think about any time that you are around somebody that has a negative feeling or they're being negative, you automatically feel that, right? And so this is the same way. And it doesn't matter if it's over the phone, right? Because you can transfer that. If you're there and you first feel like you are in rapport, you have a warm feeling and sensation in your body, then that's going to get transferred. Rapport is key for us to be able to drop their guard and come across like we're just having a conversation and not like we're trying to interview them or we're trying to sell them something, right? Making sure that you are able to build rapport as quickly as possible and then maintaining that throughout the duration of the call. So that's going to be it here for this one, and we'll see you on the next one.